What is up, guys? We have some pretty good stuff to go over in today's video. We're going to be covering MSTR and Bitcoin, mostly focusing on MSTR here, and then Bitcoin kind of in the background, as it is going to bring MSTR's price up. So it is kind of the underlying asset here. But I do want to quickly get into some MSTR, stats along with Bitcoin. But starting off, we have MSTR's earnings coming up, and those are going to be February 5th. MSTR has also been raising money for their Bitcoin acquisitions, and they recently raised $563 million through preferred stock. And then lastly, we have approval to increase share count, and this is going to enable more Bitcoin acquisitions. The way that MSTR works is they sell their convertible bonds and then sell their shares to buy more Bitcoin, and then use that profit, repeat the cycle over and over and over again off premiums. It is kind of a long story, kind of hard to explain, but that was kind of a gist of that. Also, I do want to mention that last week when Tesla reported earnings, they reported earnings on their 9,000 Bitcoin, and they reported a $600 million gain. Now, if MSTR can do the same thing under the FASB or the FASB accounting, that means that MSTR will report around $18 billion in net gain off of Bitcoin, and that is all 100% profit, as it is, Bitcoin. But that is going to be nuts for that company. The company doesn't make anything close to $18 billion. So an increase in revenue like that, if that's the way that they actually treat it, I don't know if they treat it as revenue or just as an asset, but I'm pretty sure it is as an asset. Either way, increasing that by $18 billion is pretty nuts. And then they also have 471,000 Bitcoin for a total market value of right around 50 billion, I think. And then 18 billion of that is coming off of net gain. But I do want to go ahead and jump into the chart here. So we have been in this downtrend. You can see through our purple parallels here. We have had that, kind of blow off top at 543, but I do not think that was the all-time high. I think we will see that once again. I do not think that's leading to any crash. I do want to say that I do think we can continue lower. I think that 280 to 285, that gap down here, can still be filled 100%. But I do like the way that we did retest, and I will talk about that once we do switch to the shorter time frames. But very quickly, let's talk about some price targets with MSTR. I do have a price target of $978 for our base case, and that is going to be coming by the end of the year. I think that can happen within any given month. MSTR can absolutely explode, but I do have a year-end price target of $1,400, and I fully do expect that to be hit if we do get a full Bitcoin cycle per usual. The way these targets are going to work are my Fibonacci extensions. Right here, you can see they have worked in times prior. And then you can also see we do have some little intra Fibonacci extension targets here, kind of just mapping out support and resistance. So we do have some pretty good support down here at 283. And then I would kind of really represent my next support at, the 50 EMA here. And then after that down towards, 178 down here. This would be probably your strongest support, but I do not think that we get there. If we got there, you're definitely bouncing there, and I would be buying so many shares down there. It'd be kind of nuts. But we'll put that down there as just, base support. But moving back up, you can see that these targets are pretty lengthy. So let's go ahead and show you guys what a data price range would show from here. That would be about a 181% gain for our base target. And then moving that up to our main high price target here, you can see that would roughly be around 303% from where we are today. So that would be a great return, of course, and I do think that this is totally possible, especially with Bitcoin coming out. Another quick thing that I forgot to mention in the beginning of the video is that MSTR did not buy any Bitcoin this week, and that is for two reasons mainly. One, they cannot buy during earnings week, just for some random legal reason, and then also they might just be slowing their ATM. We'll have to see what they say come earnings, but that would be pretty bullish if they say, hey, we have enough Bitcoin for right now, we're going to keep buying little bits, but we're not going to be selling all of our shares to bring the price down to buy more Bitcoin, which is how it normally works. But either way, it's bullish long term. If they get more now, it's bullish. You kind of want that to happen. You kind of want those shares to go down now so you can get more of them as they get more Bitcoin. And then when Bitcoin goes up, it's going to recover because, the Bitcoin to share ratio isn't changing. It's only increasing. So hypothetically, you're just always going to be lagging Bitcoin until it catches up, and it should just continuously catch up, even if you are selling those shares, because in return, you're buying more Bitcoin, so it'll increase the price in the long term. But those are going to be my price targets at $978 and then $1,408 for our main and base case here. But switching over to Bitcoin now, you can see, actually I do want to switch back. I forgot to talk about one important thing. I do want to go over to the 1 hour. Guys, look at this. I need to switch to my extended hours here. I want to talk about this bounce here. We had a almost $60 bounce here today, and no one talked about it. From lows here at 293.70, that was damn near a 20% day that we had today. If you would have bought at the lows, I understand that we were down quite a bit and then we rallied back, but we had a 20% day and Bitcoin had a 9% day. So this is why I want to talk about how maybe the stars are starting to align with MSTR again, and this time it could be a little bit different. A bounce like this really shows me that buyers are stepping in. You can see just how great these 4 hour candles look, and then the daily candle, just huge green candle. I understand that there was a big sell-off, but bouncing back from that is almost even more bullish than anything else here. You kind of did find support here, if you want to call it that. It was, prior support last time, so we're keeping that higher low for now. We'll have to see kind of how that sticks. But switching over to Bitcoin, Bitcoin does look pretty bullish here. I'm starting to like this pitchfork. I understand that we are still in this main consolidation range right around here, but we did get a really strong bounce out of Bitcoin today. This is on the daily chart. We sold off Sunday night and then we bought everything Monday. Absolutely ripped. We're up 9% today, $8,000 on Bitcoin. We're up. And then on the 4 hour, you can see we just barely tapped that $91,000 range again, which has kind of been, roughly support. These lines end up being pretty close here. And then, the prior time we liquidated some longs, and then that's kind of what this was. As you can see, we're hopping back above the 50 EMA and the 21 EMA. So those are both pretty bullish here. And that's on the 4 hour. And then on the daily chart, we can see that our next price target is really going to be somewhere around here. Here, let me draw it out. The next target is going to be somewhere along this middle line. Your first price target is really going to be right here at this baseline, but you should at bare minimum get back to this midline, which would probably be something around 111K to around 114K. The longer it takes for it to happen, the higher the price target is. As you can see, we kind of just moved the price target up here. That's kind of just how it's going to work. And then eventually you'd want to jump on top of this, like we have done in times past, where maybe, we're going to come see this, come back down, test it, and then hopefully we can get above it and then continue above it, and then maybe see something like this, which would kind of be the most bullish case. I do not know what just happened to my charts here. All right, that would kind of be the most bullish case, but for now, we'll just kind of have to watch it. Charts are all going crazy here, but that is kind of my idea for what Bitcoin should do, where we kind of see something like this maybe, and then we continue higher to our next price targets. And I do have two price targets mainly. The first one is going to be 112, 114K near term, and then I have 125K for our next, big milestone. And I do think that that is going to come before the end of February. I think February will be a very good month for Bitcoin. And then I think cycle end, I think we could see 150 to 170. With a strategic reserve, we could maybe see 200. I don't think there will be much more than that, but I am still, conservative around that $150,000 to $170,000 price range by the end of November. I think, or end of year, really, let's say that. But I think that's totally possible. It shows kind of here just the way this pitchfork works. It's actually a very useful tool where you can see we can kind of draw this is the whole pitchfork here. And you can see how well we've respected a lot of these lines. Going ahead and, zooming in here. You can see how well we've respected those. You have some support here, resistance here, support here, support here. There was a little bit of a fake out, but at the end of the day, that doesn't really impact it too much. If anything, that's kind of more bullish, having a fake out like that. Failed bearish attempts or bullish attempts, favor the other side much heavier once they turn around. So I am pretty interested to see how tomorrow will be in the next few days. If we can stay in this pitchfork, it will be very, very bullish long term. But that is really going to be it from me, guys. I just wanted to hit on MSTR and give you guys a little outlook on what they do. Michael Saylor is a genius. What he is doing is going to work. I'm looking to buy into more shares of MSTR right before earnings, and I do plan to get in there. I might do it tomorrow, honestly, if the price continues higher, because I think this could be that move for Bitcoin. If we can finally break out of this, I'll go ahead and delete this here. if we can go ahead and break out of, this consolidation period here outlined in the purple, where we can kind of, get above it, get above that $110,000 range, and then start moving higher, which I think is totally possible, especially by the end of February. I think we'll definitely be above 115 at the bare minimum. I think 125 does come. And then for MSTR, I think we could honestly see all-time highs by the end of the month. This thing used to have 50% weeks. So a 50% week from here would put it, right at that $500 level, roughly. And then we can see, right around 57%, which is totally possible. I'm not saying that's going to happen this week, but, post earnings, maybe we get a 15-20% jump, and then following the week, Bitcoin pumps, and then we see, 50, 70, 60%, something like that is totally possible. And then by the end of February, you could honestly see, 100% return in a month. Did that multiple times. It had 200% in 3 months. So that's pretty, it sounds crazy to say out loud, but it's happened before, and they've only acquired more Bitcoin since then. So hypothetically, they could make the same move. I understand share prices increase, so the percentages will be a little bit different. But at the end of the day, with more Bitcoin buying and more shares available, this stock should continue to the upside. So I do have strong conviction behind this, and I do think MSTR and Bitcoin are both going to be a buys right now. I would buy MSTR anytime under 400, and I would buy Bitcoin anytime you want. I did just buy more Bitcoin, but I did sell at 101,000 last night, and then I bought back Monday morning at like 93K. So that was actually a pretty good, trade for me. But that is really going to be it from me, guys. I am planning to have a video out tomorrow on tariffs and Google, so make sure you guys do like, subscribe, and turn the notification bell on for that tomorrow. And then also comment down below what other stocks I should review. There's a few important earnings coming up with like Google, Amazon, and a few other stocks, so I can definitely review those for you guys. Or maybe even more news on tariffs like I'm going to have out tomorrow. But that from me, guys, is going to be it. Make sure you guys do also click that link in the bio down below. It'll send you guys to our free Discord, and I will see you guys in the next one.